This audiobook is your invitation to awaken the infinite power that already lives within you. It's more than words, it's a sacred journey of remembrance, a path leading you back home to yourself. Within these chapters lies the key to your freedom, your wholeness, your breakthrough. When you listen, you won't just hear, you will feel your heart opening, your spirit expanding. Prepare to dissolve the walls that kept you small and step fully into the radiant truth of who you are. The inner breakthrough is not coming, it is here. It has always been here, waiting for you. Chapter 1. The Whisper of the Soul. In the hush before dawn, you feel a soft stirring in the depths of your being. It is subtle yet persistent, like a gentle breeze caressing the leaves of an ancient tree. This whisper has echoed through your heart for as long as you can remember, an invitation carried on the winds of silence. You cannot quite discern the words, but you understand the call. It is time to turn inward, to journey into the sacred unknown within. It is time. There is a yearning inside you, a tender ache that pulses with each heartbeat. In the quiet moments between thoughts, in the still pause between breaths, it makes itself known. Perhaps you have felt it late at night, when the world is asleep and only the stars keep watch, or in the first light of morning, when your soul awakens before your eyes open. A sense that something more awaits, just beyond the horizon of your everyday awareness. Something vast, something eternal. A memory of who you really are, calling you home. You stand at the threshold of an inner dawn. The old world of familiar worries and roles lies behind you, and ahead lies a path dimly lit by intuition and starlight. Though your mind cannot see where it leads, your heart knows the way. Come, the whisper beckons. Come find what you have lost. Come remember. The invitation sends a gentle thrill through your spine. Both excitement and a touch of fear dance within you. Fear of the unknown, excitement for the freedom it promises. Yet even the fear feels alive, part of the grand tapestry unfolding, urging you forward. Imagine for a moment a great forest just before sunrise. The darkness is not frightening here. It is calm and rich with possibility. You walk among towering trees whose ancient roots mirror your own history, each footstep soft on the mossy earth. There is no sound except the hush of your breath and the steady beating of your heart. In this pre-dawn stillness, every leaf and creature seems to be holding its breath with you, waiting for the first light. In the same way, within the quiet of your soul, everything is poised, expectant. You sense that if you listen closely, you might hear the stars whispering secrets through the canopy of your mind. The voice within grows clearer as you deepen into this stillness. It speaks without words, in a language older than tongues felt, in the rising of goosebumps on your skin, in the warmth blooming in your chest. It reminds you of a truth you've always known but forgotten in the noise of life. That in silence, everything is alive. That in stillness, answers arise like the sun peeking over the horizon. And as the first gentle rays of understanding illuminate your forest path, you realize this journey is not one of distance, but of depth. You are not traveling to a new land. You are traveling to the center of your being. Yes, to venture inward can feel like stepping into a vast unknown. The mind may flutter with uncertainty. What will you find when you lay your soul bare? But feel the steadiness of the earth beneath you, the quiet support of the ground you walk on. Know that this path has been walked by countless seekers before under these same eternal stars. Know that you are guided by an invisible grace, a light within that will not falter, even if the way grows dark or winding. Whenever doubt whispers, remember the stars above. Their ancient light shines within you as well, quietly guiding your way. With each step, you sense a presence accompanying you. Perhaps it is your higher self, perhaps an angel, perhaps the loving murmur of the universe itself. You are not alone on this path. You never were. In the stillness, you can finally feel the company of the divine that walks with you, hand in hand, heart to heart. I am here, it seems to say, in a voice as kind as morning light. I have always been here. A gentle realization dawns. This call you heart the whisper of the soulless, your own voice echoing from a time beyond time. It is the part of you that remembers your ancient origin, your eternal nature. It beckons you now to remember that you are more than the fragments of your daily story. You are more than a name, more than a body, more than a collection of memories and dreams. You are something holy, immeasurable, and complete, and it is time to awaken to that truth. In this sacred beginning, feel the stirring of hope within. It is gentle but steady, like a candle lighting itself in a dark room. Allow that light to grow, and allow the night of old fears to gently release its hold into the first hues of morning. Allow the possibility that there is infinitely more to you than you have allowed yourself to see. As the sky begins to lighten in your inner world, you can make out the silhouette of a new horizon. It is the horizon of your own vast consciousness, stretching out before you in all directions, shimmering with promise. You take a deep breath, drawing the quiet of the dawn deep into your lungs. There is a feeling of surrender, of saying yes to this journey that has already begun. The whisper of the soul becomes a steady melody now, a song of guidance within your heart. Yes, you answer silently. I am ready. As you give your consent, something within you shifts. The first light of your inner sun spills over the horizon, and the long night begins to yield. A new day inside you is breaking, and with it comes the promise that as you venture further, you will come to know the truth that has always been yours. The journey inward unfolds before you, and you step forward, one foot in front of the other, into the glow of a dawning revelation. Chapter 2. Embrace of the Silent Dawn. The soft light of morning finds you by the edge of a still lake, deep in the heart of that inner forest. A gentle mist rises from the water's surface, carrying the cool scent of dawn. In the golden blush of sunrise, everything is quiet and new. You kneel by the water and gaze into it as if gazing into your own soul. The surface is smooth like polished glass, reflecting the pastel sky and your own curious face. For a moment, you wonder who it is that looks back at you from this mirror of nature. In the tranquility of this hour, the reflection is clear and calm, and you sense that you are glimpsing something true about yourself, something that can only be seen in stillness. In this sacred quiet, the world within and the world around you feel as one. There is no past tugging at your sleeve, no future casting its shadow, only the eternal present cradling you in its gentle embrace. Here, now. The words drift through your mind like clouds across a clear sky. You are here. You are now. There is nowhere else to be, nothing else to do. The moment is complete in itself, a perfect circle of being. You close your eyes and listen, not with your ears but with your whole being, to the silence. In that listening, the silence becomes eloquent. It speaks to you in the language of peace. As you breathe in, you draw this peace into your body. Every inhale is sweet and deep, every exhale a soft release. You notice how the lake responds to the slightest breeze, the mirror trembles, patterns ripple outward, and how it returns to perfect stillness when the air is again at rest. Your mind, too, begins to mimic the lake. Thoughts may arise like gentle ripples, yet as you do not chase them, they fade, and the surface of your awareness grows still once more. In this serene reflection, you catch glimmers of insight shining like morning stars upon the water. They are subtle at first, a feeling of contentment, a warmth of gratitude for this simple moment of life. Memories of noise and haste seem far away now. You recall how, in the world left behind, days often rushed by in a blur of doing one task after another, the mind always dwelling on what's next or what's gone. It is as if that life belonged to someone else, a character always running, never arriving. But here, in the embrace of silence, you have finally arrived. The present unfolds like a flower before you, petal by petal, revealing the depth of its beauty. You realize that this stillness has always been here, waiting for you to notice. Even in the busiest of days, it was there in the background, a quiet wellspring of calm. Now you drink from it, and it nourishes your soul. A gentle breeze stirs the surface of the lake, and your reflection wavers. For a moment, you see your face dissolve into the dancing ripples of light. It reminds you of how easily the true self can be obscured when life's winds disturb our peace. But just as quickly, the breeze passes. The water settles again to clarity. Be still, the silence seems to say. Be still and know. You feel these words ripple through your being. They are not commands, but loving suggestions arising from within. You feel how stillness is not emptiness at all, but fullness, the fullness of presence, awareness, and life itself. There is an old memory floating up, the recollection of a story you once heard. In the story, a wise sage showed a restless seeker a bowl of muddy water. The water was agitated and opaque, unable to reflect any light. The sage simply set the bowl down and waited. The seeker watched as slowly the sediments drifted to the bottom, and the water became clear enough to mirror their faces. "This is the mind," the sage had said with a gentle smile. "In stillness, it finds its clarity. As you remember this parable, you smile softly. You are that seeker now, and your mind is that bowl of water settling into clarity." Moments pass, unmeasured and free. A bird calls from somewhere in the trees, and the sound seems part of the silence rather than apart from it. Every sound, the rustle of leaves, the distant trickle of a stream, the heartbeat in your chest belongs here and now. Nothing is an intrusion. You realize with a calm certainty that silence is not merely the absence of noise, it is the presence of an eternal song beneath the noise. It is the space in which all things arise and fade. And in this space of quiet, you begin to truly hear yourself. A soft realization dawns on you. The silence itself is alive. It is not empty. It is brimming with awareness, compassion, and understanding. In the quiet, you feel seen by something vast and kind. Perhaps it is your own soul. Perhaps it is the divine names do not matter here. What matters is the feeling, the profound sense of being held in a tender, wordless love. You remain by the lake, breathing, being, letting the sacredness of the moment wash over you like the gentle waves at your feet. As the sun climbs a little higher, golden light spills across the water and onto your skin. You feel connected to everything, the sun's warmth on your face, the water's cool touch on your fingertips, the earth solid beneath you. In this interconnected stillness, you sense that the trees, the birds, the sky, and you are all part of one great being, one consciousness quietly delighting in this dawn. There is unity in this silence, a oneness that dissolves the boundaries between you and the world. You smile, because in your heart you know, this peace you feel is not given by the outside, it has blossomed from within. Before you rise to continue your journey, you take a moment to offer silent gratitude to the lake, to the forest, to this precious silence, and to yourself for listening to its call. You have discovered a secret that was hidden in plain sight. When you become still, the whole universe surrenders its wisdom to you. In the mirror of quiet dawn, you have seen a glimpse of your true face, tranquil, wise, and eternal. With that knowing, you stand once more. The ripple of your movement sends one last circle across the lake, a final reminder that you carry this stillness with you. As it settles back into glass, you turn and walk onward, carrying the silence in your heart like a beloved companion. Chapter 3. The Eternal Now. The path leads you up a gentle slope, away from the lake, and deeper into the awakening day. With each step, soft moss and pine needles cushion your feet, and shafts of sunlight break through the canopy above. As you climb higher, the trees begin to thin until you emerge onto a broad overlook a rocky clearing perched on the side of a hill. From here, your view opens wide to the sky and the vast expanse of the valley below. A sea of green treetops stretches out beneath a radiant morning sky. You pause to catch your breath, and as you do, you lift your gaze to the heavens. High above, clouds drift in the brightening blue, their shapes ever-changing and free. You watch as one cloud, glowing in the sunlight, slowly transforms and dissipates, while another gathers form in the distance. Standing on this quiet hill, you feel as though you too are part of the sky. Your awareness is boundless and open as the space before you. A gentle breeze brushes against your cheek, as if to remind you that you are alive in this very moment, not apart from the world but deeply merged with it. In the stillness, a thought arises like a small cloud passing through your mind. You observe it appear, and instead of pulling you away, it simply floats by. You let it go, and it fades under the vast dome of your awareness. In this elevated space, you begin to perceive a profound truth. You are the witness to all that unfolds within you. Just as the sky holds the clouds, you are the silent holder of your thoughts, your emotions, your sensations. They come and go, but you remain. You are the open sky. They are the weather playing across you. No storm, no cloud, no passing breeze can ever truly harm or define the sky. So too, nothing that passes through your mind or life can define the eternal essence of who you are. This realization dawns gently, filling you with peace. In your life, storms of emotion have come: anger, sorrow, anxiety, and yet here you stand, still you, the one who has experienced it all and outlived every storm. There have been clouds of thought doubts and worries that cast shadows, yet they have always blown away with the winds of time. The clear sky of your consciousness remains, untouched and pure. In this moment, you acknowledge that purity. A soft smile finds its way to your lips, as you feel a kinship with the sky itself. How vast you are, and how patient. A flash of movement draws your attention. An eagle soars above the valley, wings outstretched, riding an invisible current of air. You watch its graceful flight, how it neither struggles nor strives, but glides effortlessly, trusting the unseen updrafts to carry it. Your heart swells at the sight. The eagle, you realize, moves through the same sky that lives within you. It trusts the invisible, as you are learning to trust the silence and stillness carrying you. For a moment, you imagine what it would be like to see through the eagle's eyes circling high above your life, seeing the big picture beyond any one moment's detail. From that height, everything looks different. Problems that loomed large from the ground become small specks from the sky. You close your eyes and feel yourself expand into that airy expanse. A sense of freedom washes over you. I am not the storm, I am the sky. You whisper to yourself, letting the truth settle. I am not the fear. I am the love that holds it. I am not the pain. I am the space that embraces it. Each affirmation is like a warm wind under your wings, lifting you higher into understanding. These are not thoughts in the ordinary sense. They are deeper knowing, resonating from the core of your being. You feel them in your bones and blood, an echo of the wisdom you have carried unconsciously all your life. Memories pass through your mind, moments of intense emotion, times you felt overwhelmed or carried away by life's currents. You see them now from this perspective of the witness. You see yourself in those moments like a character in a story, playing out scenes on the stage of time. And you see how through it all, there was a quiet part of you watching, gently holding space for the drama, waiting for the return to peace. That watcher, that is you. Not the roles you played, not the masks you wore, not the fears that momentarily gripped you. You are the one who watched it all with compassionate eyes. Tears gather at the corners of your eyes, not of sadness, but of relief and release. It is like meeting yourself for the first time after a long separation. How could you have forgotten? This presence within you, so vast, so calm, so loving, has been here all along, witnessing every breath since the hour you were born, and even before, in the silent mystery from which you came. In the past, you might have mistaken yourself for the passing weather of life, identifying with each storm. But now you remember, you are the enduring sky. The eagle cries out, a sharp, exalted call that echoes across the valley. You open your eyes to watch it disappear beyond a distant ridge, its voice lingering in the air. Your heart echoes that cry in its own way, feeling of triumph and liberation swelling within your chest. You have touched the edges of your infinite nature and found them boundless. Standing on that hilltop, you feel both humbled and empowered. Humbled by the vastness of what you truly are, and empowered by the realization that you need not be enslaved by any passing storm. A tranquility beyond words envelops you. The morning sun has risen higher now, and the dewdrops on the grasses around you sparkle like tiny suns themselves. Each dewdrop reflecting the whole world in its tiny sphere, just as each moment of awareness reflects the whole of existence. You bend down to observe a single droplet on a blade of grass. Within it, you see an inverted miniature of the landscape, the sky, the clouds, your own tiny reflection. A laugh of surprise escapes your lips. What a miracle, you think, that the vast sky can be held in a drop of dew. And you understand, if this is possible, then however small you have felt at times, the entire universe of love and possibility also lives within you. Carrying this revelation in your heart, you find yourself eager to continue the journey. Stepping down from the overlook, you descend the other side of the hill, moving forward with lightness and grace. Now each step is different from before, quieter, more mindful, as if the earth itself were an old friend you tread upon gently. You walk not as a seeker lost, but as a sovereign being discovering the kingdom within. In the vast sky of your consciousness, the sun shines brightly, and even if clouds form again, you know their true nature. With each breath, you remain in the eternal now, where the witness in you resides, and thus, with serenity and silent joy, you carry on, deeper into the adventure unfolding within. Chapter 4. Shadows and Storms. The air grows warmer as midday approaches. Following a narrow trail down from the hill, you notice the forest becoming denser around you. Ancient trees with gnarled roots crowd the path, their canopy interweaving so tightly that only speckles of sunlight dance on the forest floor. In this dim green twilight, you feel the mood subtly shift. The silence here is heavier, the shadows longer. Yet you walk on, remembering the light you carry within. The stillness from the lake and the sky still lives in your heart, a steady glow guiding you forward. As you venture deeper, a hush falls that is different from the gentle quiet of morning. It is an expectant silence, as if the forest itself is holding its breath. The birds have fallen quiet, even the breeze has stilled. You feel a prickling at the back of your neck, a subtle stirring of unease, like the memory of a bad dream. The sun is hidden now behind a thick weave of branches and gathering clouds. Overhead, the sky that was clear and blue begins to darken to a mottled gray. The scent of rain arrives, an earthy petrichor that mingles with the moss and bark. A low rumble of thunder murmurs in the distance. You pause, resting a hand on the rough bark of a cedar, and peer ahead down the path. It disappears into a tunnel of shadows. A part of you hesitates. Old instincts urge you to turn back toward the light, to avoid whatever unknown darkness lies ahead. You recognize the quickening of your pulse, the clutch of anxiety in your chest. Fear. An ancient companion, one you have run from many times before. But this time, something is different. This time, you choose to face it. You remember the promise you made to yourself at the dawn of this journey, to turn inward and not look away. And so, even as the sky grumbles and the woods darken, you step forward into the shadows. The first heavy raindrops begin to fall. They tap on leaves and patter on the ground, slowly at first, then faster. Soon, rain is pouring through the forest, drenching the foliage, drumming on the earth. Your clothes cling to your skin, and your hair streams with water, but you press on until a flash of lightning splits the sky and the thunder cracks so loud it vibrates in your bones. In that flash of brilliance, the woods around you appear stark and ghostly. For a heartbeat, you think you see shapes among the trees' figures or memories you cannot tell flickering in the periphery of your vision. Then darkness closes in again, and only the rain and the flicker of stormlight remain. Shelter, you need shelter. Squinting through the downpour, you spot a rocky outcrop to your left, a small cave or hollow beneath it. Shielding your eyes, you make your way off the path toward it. Under the ledge of stone, you find a small space, just enough to sit and curl in against the damp chill. There you huddle, knees to your chest, listening to the tempest howl outside. Each thunderclap seems to resonate with something deep within you, stirring memories long buried. As the storm rages, so too does a tempest rise inside your mind. Images flash within you. Times in your life you felt fear like this, alone in your own inner storm. The night as a child when a nightmare jolted you awake and the darkness of your room felt alive. The day you received painful news and cried out to the sky for answers. The loss, the heartbreak, the uncertain tifantums of the past swirling like mist in the corners of your heart. Here they are, visiting you again in this dark hollow, asking to be seen. Your instinct is to push them away, to banish these ghosts of sorrow and fear. But the cave is small and the storm relentless, and there is nowhere for them to go. So you do something you have never fully done. You allow them to be. With the steady roar of rain as your backdrop, you begin to truly face these shadows. One by one, you invite them closer, meeting each feeling with the eyes of the witness you remembered on the hill. There is fear trembling and cold. There is Angara hot, fractured energy. There is grief heavy and hollow. You see them, you name them, and rather than recoiling, you extend a hand to them in your heart. Come, you whisper internally to the fear, show me what you are. And fear steps forward, not as a monster, but as a frightened child, eyes wide and searching for safety. Your breath catches. Could it be that your fear is itself afraid? In that moment, compassion wells up in you like a warm light. You gently wrap that fear child in understanding. It's all right, you soothe. I am here. The child that is fear begins to calm in your embrace. Next, you turn to anger. Anger appears as a wild flame, flickering erratically, searching for air to consume. For so long, you either fed this flame with your resentment or smothered it with shame, never daring to simply witness it. Now you sit with anger without fueling or suppressing. You watch its red glow dance in the darkness of your inner cave. What do you need? You ask the anger softly. It crackles and pops, and behind its ferocity, you glimpse another face hurt. The anger was protecting a deeper pain. I see your pain, you say quietly. The flame steadies, then dwindles to a small, manageable ember, glowing with acceptance. Finally, grief emerges from the shadows, draped in a cloak of midnight. You have been most afraid of this one, this heavy sorrow that you carried unspoken. It stands before you like a solemn figure, head bowed. You do not turn away. With trembling courage, you reach out a hand. Grief looks up, and you see your own eyes staring back, filled with tears. In that moment, you fold grief into your arms, as if reuniting with a part of yourself. The tears that you've held back for so long flow freely now, mingling with the rainwater that drips from your clothes and the cave roof. You rock gently, holding your sorrow, letting it pour out, cleansing you like the rain outside. How long you sit in that cave, cradling your inner shadows, you do not know. But gradually, you become aware that the storm is easing. The thunder grows more distant. The rain lessens to a soft shower. The forest is releasing a long sigh. You too exhale, as if after years of holding your breath. In the wake of that storm, an incredible calm descends. You feel emptied out, and yet filled with newfound peace. Where fear, anger, and grief once loomed large and threatening, now there is space, and in that space, a gentle light begins to glow. You uncurl yourself and step out from under the rocky shelter. The clouds are beginning to part, revealing patches of gentle light in the sky. Everything around you sparkles with fresh rain. Droplets hang from every leaf and branch, glistening like jewels. The air is cleansed and bright, carrying the scent of wet earth and a hint of blossoms. A ray of sunshine breaks through, illuminating the clearing where you stand. And then, as if painted by a divine hand, a rainbow arcs across the sky, a bridge of 7 colors connecting one end of the forest to the other. You stand in quiet awe, face turned up to the sky, feeling the last cool raindrops and the first warm rays of sun together on your skin. Never before have you felt so vulnerable, so human, and yet so held by something greater. The rainbow feels like a sign, a promise after the storm. It reminds you that every storm has its gifts, that through the rain you have found renewal. In embracing your shadows, you have discovered they were not your enemies at all, but wounded messengers longing for your acceptance. A single droplet falls from a leaf above and lands on your cheek, tracing the path of a tear. You smile, realizing it is impossible to tell if it is the sky's tear or your own. Perhaps there is no difference. In this moment, you and the sky share the same release, the same cleansing. The forest around you seems to come alive again. Birds tentatively resume their songs, small creatures rustle in the underbrush, and golden light spreads like a blessing on all that is damp and green. With gratitude swelling in your chest, you step back onto the path. The ground is soft with mud, yet your footing is sure. The air feels lighter, and so do you. You carry within you a new understanding, that the dark and the light within are both sacred, each offering gifts for your journey. The fears that once chased you have revealed their gentle faces. The grief that weighed on your heart has watered the seeds of compassion within you. The anger that burned now fuels your determination to heal. You walk forward under the clearing sky, no longer afraid of the shadows, for you have befriended the night within. And as you continue, the rainbow stays overhead for a while, as if guiding you onward, deeper into the luminous mystery of your own being. Chapter 5. The Child Within. The path meanders gently now, under a canopy of leaves still dripping from the recent rain. Sunbeams break through in places, illuminating the forest floor with puddles of light. The air is fresh and cool, and with each breath you feel a profound sense of renewal. As you walk, soaking in the quiet joy after the storm, you notice a new sound in the distance. A soft humming, almost like a lullaby carried on the breeze. It is playful and light, and it tugs at something in your heart. Curious, you follow the melody, stepping lightly over roots and ferns, drawn by an inexplicable familiarity in that gentle song. In a small glade up ahead, you glimpse a figure moving. Through the dappled light, you see a young child dancing barefoot on the wet grass. The child's laughter drifts toward you, pure as a chime. For a moment, you simply watch from behind a willow tree, entranced. The child is chasing a butterfly, tiny feet splashing in the puddles, completely absorbed in the wonder of the moment. A golden ray of sun lights upon them, and they glow as if made of light themselves. There is something achingly familiar about this child. Something in the tilt of the head, the carefree movement, the hum of that little song. Your heart gives a knowing flutter. Could it be? You step gently into the clearing, making yourself known with a soft cough so as not to startle the little one. The child stops and turns to you, eyes wide. You find yourself gazing into eyes that mirror your own, perhaps a different color or shape than yours today, but unmistakably the eyes you once had, filled with that same innocent curiosity. In those eyes, there is no judgment, only openness. You realize with a start that this child is you, a reflection of your own younger self, the part of you that you thought had been left behind in time. Emotions swell within you, wonder, tenderness, and a pang of sorrow for how long it's been since you felt this presence. The child regards you shyly, clutching a small wildflower in one hand. You kneel down slowly to be on eye level and offer a warm smile. For a moment, neither of you speaks. Words seem unnecessary. There is an unspoken recognition passing between you, a gentle remembrance. At last, you break the silence softly. Hello. Your voice is gentle, as if speaking to a timid deer. The child smiles back, and it's as though the sun just got brighter. I know you, the little one says in a voice so gentle it nearly breaks your heart. You nod, tears already pricking your eyes. I know you too, you whisper. The child steps closer, extending the little white flower toward you. You take it with reverence, noticing the tiny petals and the sweet smell jasmine, like summer evenings long ago. I've been waiting for you, the child says simply. The honesty and trust in that statement washes over you. You realize that some part of you, this innocent, loving Cora, has indeed been waiting, quietly, through all the years you were busy growing up and building walls to protect yourself. Waiting for you to slow down, to become still enough, gentle enough, to notice them again. I'm sorry I took so long, you say, voice trembling with sincerity. You reach out a hand, unsure if the child will accept your touch, but the child does not hesitate. Small fingers entwine with yours, and the touch is so real, so warm, that a sob of relief escapes you. Together, hand in hand, you move to sit on a fallen log cushioned with moss. For a while, you simply sit together, listening to the drip of water from leaves and the distant song of birds re-emerging after the storm. The little one swings their feet cheerfully, as children do, unbothered by any need for explanation. You close your eyes for a moment, overwhelmed by a sense of peace and wholeness you haven't felt in a long time. It's as if two halves of your heart have been reunited. After some time, the child begins to speak in a quiet voice, telling you about their world. It's not a story in the usual sense. There are no linear events or logical progressions. It's more like sharing the colors and feelings of a dream. The child talks about the ladybugs hidden under the leaves, the names they've given to the clouds, the way the mud feels between their toes, the songs the wind sings at night. You realize this child perceives the magic in everything, the wonder you once knew before the world taught you to be numb. As you listen, a smile spreads across your face, and tears roll down your cheeks, simultaneous smiles for the beauty, tears for the innocence nearly forgotten. I miss this. I missed you, you confess softly. The child looks up at you with concern and gently touches the wet trail, a tear left on your cheek. I never left, they reply. I've always been here in our secret place. You understand then. In the quiet space of your inner world, this childlike essence has lived, patiently awaiting your return. All the times you felt alone, unloved, or not enough, this inner child was holding a truth for you, a memory of your original wholeness. You just had to remember how to find them. You find yourself speaking, telling the child all the things you have wanted to say for years. You apologize for the times you ignored the child's needs, the times you pushed them away or silenced their laughter in order to appear grown-up or please others. You admit the mistakes and the hurts that you carried, and as you do, the child squeezes your hand, listening with big, earnest eyes. There is no blame, there only compassion, as if the child understands far better than you expect. When you fall quiet, the child gives a little nod, as if to say, "It's all right." Then you feel small arms wrapping around your neck in a hug. You embrace the child gently but firmly, afraid to let go. A warmth blooms in your chest, radiating outward to every limb, a feeling of pure, unconditional love. You realize that this love has always been inside you. It was you, loving yourself in the most natural, untarnished way, before the world taught you otherwise. In that embrace, time seems to stop. You are not sure if you are the adult or the child or both, fused together in a moment of unity. You are cradling and being cradled, forgiving and being forgiven, all at once. Every wound that the child endured, every tear and every scar, you bathe them now in this love, and they heal in the light of your awareness. Likewise, every joy and spark of creativity the child carries flows into you, filling the cracks in your spirit with golden wonder. Eventually, the hug gentles and you lean back to look at each other. The child's face is radiant, as if lit from within. They take your hand again and place it over your own heart. "I live here," the child whispers, giggling slightly as if sharing a secret. You place your hand over the small hand, feeling your heart beneath, strong and steady. "Always?" you ask. The child nods emphatically, "Always." You know then that you carry this innocence, this wonder, this capacity for pure love inside you wherever you go. It can never truly be lost. It can only be forgotten for a while. And now you have remembered. The forest around you seems to shimmer with this realization. The light is brighter, the colors deeper, or perhaps it is your eyes that have changed, seeing with the clarity of both child and adult combined. It is nearly time to continue your journey. You stand, and the little one stands with you, fingers still interlaced. You are reluctant to part, but a deep understanding passes between you that you are not really parting at all. "Will you come with me?" you ask softly. The child looks up at the sky, thinking. A ray of sunlight falls directly on both of you, and in that light you could swear you see a pair of delicate wings shimmering behind the child's back, here and gone in an instant. The child laughs, and instead of answering in words, steps forward and merges into you, dissolving into warm light that pours into your chest. You gasp, not in pain but in astonishment, as you feel that light integrate with your own. It is a sensation of wholeness beyond description, as if a missing piece of your soul just clicked into place. You look down at your own hands, still warm from holding the child's hand, and you know that you are forever changed. Though the child is no longer visible beside you, you can feel their presence inside, playful and bright. Your heart feels light, like it could float out of your chest. A laughter bubbles up from within you, your own, yet carrying the sweet timbre of that child's giggle. You laugh freely, twirling once in the glade, your arms outstretched. The butterfly the child had chased flutters around you, as if celebrating this reunion. With a grateful heart, you bow gently to the glade, acknowledging it as a sacred place of meeting. You tuck the small white jasmine flower behind your ear or in your pocket somewhere safe, as a token of this encounter. As you step back onto the path, the sun has moved past its highest point and golden afternoon light guides your way. You walk onward, feeling more complete than ever, accompanied from within by the child of light that you have reclaimed. And as you go, you carry a newfound joy and authenticity, ready to face whatever comes next on this inner odyssey, knowing you do so as your whole divine self. Chapter 6. The Mirror of Truth. The afternoon sun slants in golden beams as you continue along the path, feeling the lively presence of your inner child now nestled in your heart. The forest begins to thin, and soon you step out into a sunlit meadow. Wildflowers spread in a vibrant carpet of colors: violet, gold, and white, swaying gently in the late-day breeze. Butterflies flit from blossom to blossom, and the air is alive with the soft humming of bees and the distant murmur of a stream. You follow the sound of water, finding your way to a little brook that winds along the edge of the meadow. The brook leads you to a natural, spring-fed pool encircled by smooth stones and weeping willows. The water is astonishingly clear, as if distilled from the purest essence of the earth. You feel an inviting energy here, a sense of sacredness. Kneeling by the water's edge, you peer into the pool. At first, you see only the pebbles lining its bottom, each one illuminated by sun rays filtering through the water. Then gradually, as the ripples settle, your reflection appears. You see your own face gazing back, calm, eyes shining with recent tears and new understandings. The face is both familiar and new, softened with compassion and lit from within. You remember how at the lake that morning, you saw a glimpse of your true self in stillness. Now, after all the encounters and healing of the day, you perceive yourself even more clearly. This reflection is not just an outer likeness, it seems to reveal the soul beneath the features. You see strength and tenderness, courage and vulnerability, and a kind of quiet wisdom that has been growing within you. As you gaze, the water's surface trembles slightly, and for a moment the image blurs. When it clears again, you see something else, not just one face, but many, shifting like phases of the moon. You lean closer, mesmerized. The pool is showing you an array of visages, different versions of you that you have been through the years. You see the face you wore in childhood, eyes wide with wonder, the innocence that you just rekindled in the glade. You see the face of your adolescence, curious, yearning, perhaps tinged with insecurity or rebellion. Then the face of early adulthood, determined, perhaps guarded, shaped by responsibilities and the need to fit in or prove yourself. One after another, these images gaze up at you, each one a mask you donned, a role you played in the grand play of life. Some of the faces you see bring a smile of nostalgia, others a pang of sadness or regret. The dutiful mask you wore to gain approval, even when it stifled your true voice. The brave face you showed the world when inside you felt afraid. The cheerful facade you kept up to hide your sorrow. They are all here, gently revealed by the mirror of the water. Yet strangely, seeing them now does not bring pain but compassion. You understand that each was an attempt to navigate life, to find love, to avoid hurt. Each mask served a time and purpose, but none of them were the whole truth of you. A breeze ruffles the pool again, and when the water stills, the images have changed once more. Now, one by one, the faces lift away like translucent veils. You watch as the child self smiles and fades into light. The adolescent self dissolves. The various adult personas, each one made of expectations, fears, and societal pressures, gently lift and dissipate like mist in the morning sun. You may have thought these were lost pieces of you, but in truth they were only costumes. The essence that wore them remains, steady beneath all changes. Now the water shines with a pure radiance, and only one reflection remains. It is you, but in a way you have never quite seen yourself. You appear as if made of light and water, your features clear yet shimmering. Your eyes in the reflection seem to contain galaxies a depth of eternity. You realize you are seeing your authentic self, unveiled. Not the self defined by age, or job, or roles, or what others have said about you, but the self that simply is. The I Am presence, within the same presence that observed your thoughts from the hilltop, that embraced your shadows in the cave, that danced as a child in the glade. It is all one being, you, radiant and whole. Tears of recognition well up, but they are gentle, joyful tears. You smile at your reflection, and it smiles back with unconditional love. You feel a tender affection for the person looking back at you, a soul who has traveled through so much, worn so many faces, and is finally coming home to its truth. It's like meeting an old and dear friend after a long absence and realizing that friend has been with you all along. In the quiet that envelops this moment, you affirm softly to yourself, I am here, I am me, I am. The words ripple outward in the water, as if the whole pool hears and responds. There's a slight glow that emanates from the reflection now, as though your very being is acknowledging the truth of those words. You feel a warmth in your chest expanding, and you know it is self-love, perhaps the first time you've felt it so pure and unhindered, as simple and nourishing as sunlight on a plant. Memories flow through you like a gentle current. You recall times you betrayed your own truth to avoid rejection, times you pretended to be someone you were not to make others comfortable. With each memory comes a compassionate understanding. You whisper forgiveness for each instance. I forgive myself for abandoning you, my true self, in that moment. I was scared, but I meant no harm. I'm here now. And the reflection shines brighter with each forgiveness, as though unburdened of dust that had settled over its light. The sun begins to dip lower, and the sky takes on a golden hue. The willow branches around you sway, their leaves brushing the water, causing the reflection to waver. As the image blurs, you realize something profound. Even without seeing that vision of your soul, you can feel it within you. The reflection was a tool, a mirror to help you see, but now the knowing is etched in your heart. You have claimed your authentic self, and it will remain with you regardless of what reflections the world offers. To honor this realization, you cup your hands in the pool and lift a handful of the cool water to your face. You gently wash your cheeks, your brow, your heart, anointing yourself in a kind of baptism of truth. The water on your skin is radiant in the sunlight, and you feel as if you are infusing this body, this life, with the essence of your true being. As the water returns to calm, you catch one last glimpse of your face, in it glowing content. You bow gratefully to the pool, thanking it for showing you what you needed to see. In the reflection, it almost appears as if a halo of light encircles your head. The sun's reflection, no doubt, yet it feels symbolic of the divine spark within you now recognized. Rising to your feet, you notice a smooth, round stone at the water's edge, half dipped in the clear pool. It stands out from the others as it has an almost mirror-like surface on one side. You pick it up, and indeed one face of the stone is polished naturally, reflecting a tiny image of your eye and a glint of sunlight. Smiling, you tuck the stone into your pocket or keep it in your palm, a keepsake of the mirror of truth, a reminder of who you really are whenever doubt might return. The meadow beyond beckons you to continue the journey. The world around you seems more alive than ever, as if celebrating your homecoming to yourself. Colors appear richer, the air sweeter. You step forward with a new ease, not needing to wear any mask or follow any script. You walk simply as you open, present, and real. As you leave the spring of reflection, a gentle voice, within perhaps the voice of your soul, speaks one clear, loving phrase. Never forget, you are you, and that is your power. You carry these words with you, like a cherished melody, letting them harmonize with the beat of your heart. With each step through the golden-lit meadow, you feel the truth of them. No matter what lies ahead, you know you will meet it as your authentic self, and that is enough. That is everything. Chapter 7. The Heart of Compassion. The path leads you through the wildflower meadow toward a gentle rise. The golden afternoon light bathes everything in a loving glow. You feel a warmth in your chest growing with each step and energy, radiating from the center of your being. It's as if the recognition of your true self has kindled a flame in your heart, and now that flame burns bright and steady, filling you with love. This love seems to flow outward effortlessly. Love for yourself, for this journey, for every element of nature around you. The daisies nodding in the breeze, the clouds drifting in the sky, even the very earth supporting your feet, all of it inspires affection and gratitude. At the crest of the rise, you discover a charming scene, a grassy knoll where a lone cherry blossom tree stands in full bloom, its pink petals fluttering down like a gentle rain. Beneath the tree, the ground is carpeted with those soft petals. You approach and notice something nestled among them, a small bird, lying still, one wing bent at an odd angle. Your heart catches in your throat. The tiny creature must have been injured, perhaps by the earlier storm or a fall from its nest. You kneel beside the bird, your movements slow and careful. It watches you with frightened, beady eyes, chest fluttering rapidly. The fear and pain of the little being resonates with the healer now awake in your heart. You extend your hands slowly, speaking in a soothing whisper. "It's okay, little one. I won't hurt you." The bird trembles, but it doesn't try to escape as you gently scoop it into your palms. It's so light, as if you're holding a small heartbeat wrapped in feathers. Cradling the wounded bird, you sit beneath the blossom tree, your back against the sturdy trunk. You can feel the creature's rapid heartbeat against your skin, and you close your eyes, aligning your own breath and heart with compassion. All the while, petals drift down, some landing on your hair and shoulders, some on the bird's tiny frame like nature's blessings. You recall a time when you too felt small and broken, needing nothing more than a gentle touch and kindness. As that memory surfaces, a wellspring of empathy pours from you. You softly hum a melody, perhaps the same lullaby tune you heard the inner child humming earlier, or something spontaneous that flows through you. The bird's breathing begins to slow, its trust growing in the embrace of your warmth. A subtle energy stirs in your chest, a glowing green light in the mind's eye, radiating outward through your arms and hands. You imagine this light as pure love flowing from your heart into the bird. You aren't consciously trying to fix its wing or heal it in any specific way. You are simply offering love, a comforting presence, and the intention of wellness. In this quiet moment, it almost feels as though time stands still around you, the only movement being the soft swirl of pink petals in the air and the gentle rise and fall of breath, yours and the bird's together. After a while, the bird begins to move slightly. It lifts its head and lets out a tentative chirp. You smile down at it. Carefully, you open your hands a bit to give it freedom. It sits perched on your palm. The wing it had held limp now stretches gingerly. You watch in amazement as the little bird flaps both wings and takes a small hop. It seems the creature has recovered enough strength or courage to try flying. You hold your breath as it launches from your hand. It flutters clumsily at first, low to the ground, then gains altitude and flies up to a low branch of the cherry blossom tree. There it pauses and looks back at you, tilting its head as if in gratitude. Your eyes meet, and a silent understanding passes. You helped each other in this exchange of compassion. Tears of joy gather in your eyes, seeing the bird now singing a delicate note from its perch. In that song you hear a thank you and a blessing. A soft laugh escapes you, mixed with a sob of happiness. You feel your heart as vast as the sky, able to hold so much care. The sensation is almost overwhelming, yet completely natural-like. This is who you have been all along beneath any layers of protection, a being of profound love. As you rise to your feet under the shower of pink blossoms, you feel compelled to offer your gratitude in return. You place a gentle hand over your heart and look up at the bird and the tree and the sky beyond. "Thank you," you whisper, not just to the bird, but to the life that flows through both of you, to the love that connected you in this healing moment. Standing there, you become acutely aware of how interconnected everything is. The compassion you felt for the bird was not a one-way flow. It healed something in you as well. You sense that every act of kindness, every gesture of love, creates a ripple that benefits the giver and receiver alike, and in truth, in the oneness of life, giver and receiver are the same. There is only love expressing and reflecting itself. You take in the landscape around you with new eyes. The tree above seems to emanate a gentle wisdom. You recall how cherry blossoms bloom brilliantly but briefly, a reminder of life's fleeting beauty and the importance of loving in the now. You notice on the horizon the shapes of distant mountains touched by the sun's golden light. The journey will likely lead you there soon. But in this moment, your journey has led you deeply into the heart. Memories come of people in your life, family, friends, even those who caused you hurt. With your heart now open and filled with compassion, you find yourself sending them well wishes, forgiveness, and love. You understand that everyone, in their own way, is carrying wounds and seeking happiness, just as you have been. Some know how to express love, some are still learning, and some mask their pain in hurtful ways. But beneath it all, every soul wants to love and be loved. Standing in the radiance of your open heart, you silently offer, "May all beings be happy. May all beings be safe. May all beings be free, and know that they are loved." As these thoughts flow, you feel an expansive peace. It's as if your heart is not just in your chest, but is a vast field connecting you to all existence. In this field, you sense that your inner breakthrough is benefiting more than just you. It lights a small torch in the great web of life, encouraging others to find their light too. Perhaps the greatest transformation is this capacity to love boundlessly. A gentle wind picks up, catching the cherry petals and swirling them around you in a celebratory dance. Some part of you feels that the whole universe is acknowledging this awakening of your heart. You raise your arms slightly, palms open, and let the petals caress your fingertips. It's a moment of communion between you, nature, and the unseen essence of life that connects everything. The sun is now dipping toward the west, lengthening the shadows and turning the light more amber. The bird in the tree sings once more, then flies off toward the horizon, fully healed and free. You watch it disappear into the distance, carrying a piece of your love with it. With a deep breath, you prepare to move on. Before leaving, you gently gather a single fallen cherry blossom from the ground and tuck it away near the stone and flower you carry as mementos. The petal is soft and delicate in your fingers. It will remind you of this sacred heart opening, this vow of compassion you have made by your actions and intentions. Stepping down from the knoll, you continue along the path that now winds out of the meadow. You walk slowly, relishing the golden light and the feelings alive within you. There is a quiet exultation in your soul. You know that love is not a destination, but the very path itself. Every step you take is upon the ground of love, and every breath is an exchange with a loving universe. With that awareness, you move forward, heart first, ready to journey into the deepening twilight with trust and compassion lighting your way. Chapter 8. Surrender to the Flow. As the sun dips low, painting the sky in hues of orange, rose, and purple, you follow the path out of the meadow and into a stand of tall reeds. The air is cooler now, and a tranquil hush settles over the landscape. Before you, you soon find the source of the distant murmuring you've been hearing. A wide river gliding through the land, its surface shimmering with the colors of sunset. This river lies across your path, stretching from bank to bank with no bridge in sight. You walk to the water's edge and feel the moist soil give slightly under your feet. The river is not raging like the storm's rain. It moves with a steady, quiet power, a broad current flowing from somewhere unseen upstream toward an unknown destination downstream. You feel no fear looking at it, only a deep respect and a gentle challenge. How will you continue your journey now? The path you were on disappears into the river. To reach the other side, you will have to trust the water. A memory drifts up like a leaf on a current. You recall perhaps a time you stood before a big change in life, unsure of what lay ahead, feeling as though you had to step into the unknown. Perhaps you hesitated then, clinging to the shore of the familiar, heart pounding with the fear of uncertainty. But now, something in you has shifted. The work of stillness, of witnessing, of loving, has built a faith inside you, faith in yourself and in the larger flow of life. The evening sky deepens to indigo. One by one, stars blink into being overhead, like guiding eyes watching kindly. You take their appearance as a sign. With a soft exhale, you decide to surrender to this moment and trust the river to carry you. Removing any heavy burden or shoe that might weigh you down, you step forward. The first touch of the water on your feet is cold, but exhilarating. Step by step you wade in. The current swirls around your calves, then your waist. When the water reaches your chest, you lift your feet and let go, allowing yourself to float. For an instant, a reflex of panic flutters in you as the ground vanishes underfoot and the current takes hold. But you breathe and remember, trust. You spread your arms and lie back, looking up at the sky now fully strewn with stars. The river cradles you, supporting your body as it begins to carry you downstream. Instead of fighting the flow, you become one with it. The water is cool, but the experience is strangely comforting, like the gentle rocking of a mother's arms. Drifting under the emerging night, you feel a profound release. All the striving, all the controlling and planning that once filled your days, in this moment, it all dissolves. You are free, moving with life rather than against it. The stars above seem to spin slowly as you gently rotate in the current, and you realize that you have not felt this safe in surrender since perhaps the womb. For here you are, utterly vulnerable, yet utterly supported by forces seen and unseen. As you float, you notice how the river knows exactly where to take you without any effort on your part. It maneuvers around bends, glides past rocks and logs. You might brush against a river reed or drift near a school of fish that dart away beneath. You sense that the river is alive, conscious in its own way, a part of the great intelligence of nature. By surrendering, you have entered into a partnership with that intelligence. A shooting star streaks across the sky, reflecting in the dark water around you. You watch it with childlike awe. In the silence that follows, you hear more clearly the whispers of your soul. They say, "All is well, all is guided, trust the process." Each word resonates in time with your heartbeat. You let them sink deeply into you. The tight coil of control you once held in your belly unravels completely. You understand that while you have your intentions and will, there is also a larger current carrying you through life, one that you can trust to take you where you need to go. Memories of times you struggled against the currents of change come to mind. You see how fighting only caused exhaustion and pain, like swimming upstream in vain. And you see how, when you finally let go in those instances, solutions and paths appeared as if by grace. Floating now, you smile gently at those memories, forgiving yourself for not trusting sooner. It was all part of learning, You had to gather the courage and wisdom to yield. A quiet laughter rises in your chest, not a laugh at anything funny, but a joyous recognition of how simple it can be when you let it. Why do we resist so much? Do you wonder? This effortless drifting feels so natural. It is the mind that fears losing control, yet in truth, control was always an illusion. Life has flowed of its own accord all along. By surrendering, you haven't given up your agency. You've aligned it with the greater flow. The river carries you around a bend, and you see that you are approaching the opposite bank now. It gently guides you into a calm eddy where the current slows. Feeling the soft drag of silt below, you realize it's shallow enough to stand again. Your feet find purchase on the sandy bottom. Slowly, you stand up in the waist-deep water. You feel lighter, cleansed by the drift. Waiting a few steps, you emerge onto the far shore. As you step out, water streaming from your clothes, you notice the night has fully arrived. The moon, a slender crescent, hangs low on the horizon, and the chorus of crickets and frogs rises from the riverbanks. You are soaked and should be chilled, yet a warm peace radiates from within you, keeping any shiver at bay. You turn back toward the river and silently whisper your gratitude. In return, the river gurgles softly, as if bidding you farewell and good fortune. High above, the constellations shine with ancient light, and you feel as if the whole universe is encouraging you onward, 1,000 silent voices in the stars saying, "We are with you." Trust, trust. On this new bank, the path appears again, revealed by the moonlight, a silver ribbon winding into a forest on the other side. You realize that by surrendering to the flow, you've arrived exactly where you need to be. There was a plan greater than what you could see, and by letting go, you became part of it. Water drips from you, leaving a trail of dark spots on the earth as you walk forward. With each step, you feel different than before, more supple in spirit, more open to the unknown. There's a calm curiosity about what comes next, without the old anxiety of trying to control it. In your heart, you carry the understanding that you can meet whatever comes because you are aligned with life itself. Before you venture back under the canopy of trees, you pause for a moment. The river flows quietly in the darkness, now behind you. Overhead, the Milky Way is a river of stars flowing across the sky. The parallel strikes you deeply. You have just floated in the earthly river, and above you the celestial river of stars courses through the heavens, both moving in their natural way, both reflections of the one cosmic dance. You feel yourself to be a part of that dance, a sparkling drop in the river of existence. With that realization warming your soul, you offer a final prayer of surrender. I trust you, life. Carry me where I need to go. It is both a request and a declaration, echoing in the vault of stars. Then, gently, you turn and continue your journey, stepping into the nocturnal forest, heart at ease, spirit surrendered to the flow of the divine current. Chapter 9. The Dark Night. Under the canopy of the nocturnal forest, the world has become a tapestry of shadows. The trees here are tall and ancient, their intertwining branches blocking much of the starlight. As you venture deeper, the path grows harder to discern. Only faint glimmers of moonlight occasionally slip through gaps in the leaves, illuminating a patch of moss or the eyes of a night creature before vanishing again. Your footsteps slow. A profound silence envelops you, broken only by the soft crunch of leaves underfoot and the distant hoot of an owl echoing through the treetops. After the gentle surrender to the river, this darkness feels especially thick. With no clear view of the sky, you lose your sense of direction. You pause, letting your eyes adjust, but it remains deeply dark. A thin mist has begun to gather at ground level, curling around the roots and stones. You take a careful step, and then another, hands outstretched to feel for obstacles. Your heartbeat, calm moments ago, quickens once again. a trickle of doubt seeps into your mind. Am I still on the path? What if I'm lost? In the heavy quiet, old specters of anxiety creep in. This reminds you of times in your past when you felt spiritually lost, those lonely nights, when no comfort or guidance seemed to reach you, when even hope seemed to hide. You had thought such nights were behind you now, after all you've learned. Yet here you are, in a literal dark night, feeling a familiar uncertainty coil in your belly. You inhale slowly, recalling your tools. Stillness, witnessing, love, trust. I am not afraid of the dark, you tell yourself quietly. But the words echo hollow among the trees. A stray thought replies, "Are you sure?" Perhaps there's a part of you that is still afraid, if not of monsters in the dark like childhood, then of the emptiness itself, of not knowing what lies ahead. The path under your feet falters, then disappears into a tangle of underbrush. You realize you might have strayed. Reaching out, your fingers find rough bark of massive oak. You decide to stay by this tree for a moment, to gather yourself. With a sigh, you sink down to sit on its gnarled roots, back resting against the trunk. The wood feels solid and reassuring behind you, a steady presence in the gloom. Closing your eyes, since sight gives little aid now, you turn your focus inward. You listen to the darkness like one might listen to the deep ocean. At first, you hear only the echo of your racing heart. But gradually, beneath that, other sounds emerge. The soft pulsation of life moving in the soil, the distant cry of that owl, the whisper of wind stirring leaves high above. The forest is not silent, you realize. It's alive and aware, holding its breath alongside you. A memory floats up, of the cave in the storm where you faced your shadows. Then, you had the drum of rain and thunder for company. Now, the darkness is more gentle, but also more absolute. You realize this night is another kind of test of your faith in all that you've experienced so far, even when you cannot see clearly. Can you trust the light within you to guide you when no external light can be found? You press your hand to your heart, trying to feel that inner glow. For a moment, doubt veils it. You wonder if perhaps you've imagined parts of this journey, if the transformations were too good to be true. A wave of weariness washes over you. It's been a long journey, and suddenly you feel exhausted to the bone. Maybe you should rest here until dawn. Yes, perhaps that's wise. You curl up at the base of the oak, wrapping your arms around yourself. The ground is damp and cool, but you find a relatively dry patch against the trunk. As you lie there in the darkness, memories flicker through your mind, unbidden like dreams trying to form. You see faces of loved ones, moments from your life that carried pain or sweetness. Visions of your childhood room at night, when you would hide under the blankets from imagined ghosts. Visions of later years when the ghosts were more real. The loss of a dear one, the collapse of a dream, the existential angst that sometimes visited in the small hours. All the heartaches you have known drift by, mingling with the present shadows. Your heart begins to ache with a deep loneliness. Despite all the love you've touched on this journey, here in the darkness, an old feeling of isolation resurfaces. A part of you whispers, "I feel alone." Not in the petty way of being lonely for company, but a cosmic aloneness, like a traveler far from home, under an alien sky. Perhaps this is the last remnant of separation that you must face, the feeling of being separate from the divine, from the source of all. As this realization dawns, tears fill your eyes. You hadn't even known you still carried this sorrow until this moment. In the light of day and the excitement of discovery, it was easy to forget. But here, stripped of light and comfort, it emerges. The longing for union, the yearning to know you are held by something infinitely greater in the darkest of times. You allow the tears to come. They roll warm down your cheeks into the moss. You do not fight them. You know by now that release is healing. Through silent sobs, you whisper into the void, a prayer of vulnerability. Where are you? I miss you. I need your guidance. You are not even sure who or what you are addressing. Perhaps the divine, perhaps that loving voice within, perhaps just the very night itself. Your words fade into the stillness with no immediate reply. Feeling empty and small, you lean your head back against the oak. Its bark presses into you, grounding you in the present. You remember something the inner child said, "I never left. I've always been here." If your inner child, with all its innocence, never left you, could it be true for the divine presence as well? Could it be that in this very darkness, you are not truly alone at all? You breathe in and out, each breath shaky but slowing. You search inside for even the tiniest spark of light. For a while, it seems nothing but darkness meets your search. But you persist, breathing, feeling, intending to find that ember of hope. And then, like the faintest glimmer, you sense it. A quiet, enduring pulse in the depths of your being, small but real. It is the presence that has always been with you, the drop of divinity in your soul that cannot be extinguished. As you focus on that subtle light within, something shifts in your perception. The darkness no longer feels empty. It feels pregnant with unseen support. The forest around you is not a void, but a cradle. The very night itself seems to embrace you, like a dark velvet cloak around your shoulders. You realize that just because you cannot see the sun right now does not mean the sun is gone. It will return, and in the meantime, the stars and moon, however dim, watch over the night traveler. You open your wet eyes and look up through the branches. They look like black lace against the sky. You notice one particular star directly overhead, twinkling insistently between the leaves. As you gaze, it seems to grow brighter, or perhaps your vision is sharpening. It's not a star at all, but the planet Venus, the morning star, rising ever so slowly. Its light is steadier than the stars, a beacon of silver in the blue-black sky. A gentle realization moves through you. Dawn is approaching. Venus heralds the coming sunrise. This single point of light feels like a reply to your prayer, not in words, but in presence. I am here, it seems to say the same message you heard from within at the very start of your journey. A soft, broken laugh escapes you between sniffles, and you wipe your eyes. Of course. The guidance was here. It never left. Sometimes it's the darkest when we are closest to dawn. You push yourself up from the ground, still leaning on the oak for support. Far in the east, beyond where the river might still be flowing, the sky is thinning from black to a subtle charcoal gray. The outline of trees is becoming discernible. Your heart swells with relief and gratitude. You whisper, "Thank you." Not sure to whom exactly, perhaps to the star, to the dawn, to the unseen presence that held you through the night. Standing there in the faint, pre-dawn gloom, you know that this night has given you a precious gift. It allowed you to face the last vestiges of your fear of aloneness and to find that even in utter darkness, you are never truly alone. The divine spark inside you and the greater love around you are always present, even when hidden from sight. In fact, they often do their deepest work in these shadowed hours. With renewed resolve, you pick up the path again. Now your eyes can make out the way forward as a gentle gradient of light grows in the east. Step by step, you walk toward the promise of morning. The mist at your feet begins to glow faintly as dawn's first color, a fragile blue, washes into the sky. The darkest night is ending. You have walked through it and found its secret, that the light was within you all along, waiting for you to trust it. As you move, shapes of rocks and bushes emerge from the darkness, familiar and friendly. The chilly air on your skin feels invigorating now, a sign that you are alive and awake for the grand spectacle that is about to unfold. Your tears have dried, and in their place is a clean, open feeling, like a field awaiting sunrise. Somewhere a bird begins to sing, a single note, then a trill. It is answered by another farther off. A chorus is gently awakening around you. You cannot see the sun yet, but the mere hint of its approach has stirred life anew. Holding on to the peace that blossomed out of your pain, you keep walking, eager but unhurried. You have learned even in darkness to be present. There is no rush. Dawn will come in its own time, and you will greet it ready, with open eyes and an open heart. And as you step lightly out of the last shadows of night, you carry the dark night within you as a cherished chapter, no longer an enemy, but a sacred teacher that guided you back to the light. Chapter 10. Dawn of Remembrance. You emerge from the last fringe of the forest onto a gentle rise just as the first golden rim of the sun breaks the horizon. The eastern sky blossoms from pale blue to a symphony of pinks and oranges, like a cosmic rose opening its petals. You find a smooth stone or a small hillock and stand upon it, giving you a clear view of the dawn. As you gaze, the sun lifts its radiant face steadily, each moment painting the world in brighter hues. Dewdrops on the grass around you turn to diamonds in that newborn light, and the chill of night recedes, replaced by a gradual warmth. In this pristine silence of the new day, you feel every sense heightened. The cool morning air fills your lungs, crisp and invigorating. The light breeze carries the sweet scent of wet earth and blooming wildflowers. The birds that began their songs in darkness now crescendo in a joyous symphony, celebrating the return of the light. It is as if all of existence is welcoming the sun, and you find yourself welcoming something even deeper, the light rising within you. As the sun climbs, its rays fall fully upon you, and you close your eyes, bathing in the glow. The sunlight feels like an old friend, familiar and loving. It caresses your closed eyelids, painting your inner vision a soft red gold. In that warm illumination, something stirs in your chorea, profound sensation of recognition. The darkness of the night washed away doubt. Now the light of dawn ignites memory. Not memory of a particular lifetime event, but a soul memory, an ancient knowing. Images dance behind your closed eyes. Perhaps you see yourself as a small child again, but this time not lost or hurt, rather laughing and playing in sunlight, utterly free and connected to everything. Then you see beyond your childhood a vision of humanity itself in its innocence, a time when we all walked in harmony with the earth and sky. Further back still, you sense an existence beyond forma time, when your soul floated as light through the cosmos, part of the stars and the sun, before ever taking a body. These impressions come not as logical thoughts, but as a deep resonance vibrating in your being. Your heart expands, as if trying to encompass the very sun rising before you. And in that expansion, a revelation dawns brighter than any daylight. You remember who you truly are. You are not just the traveler who set out on this journey. You are not defined by your name, your story, or even this single lifetime. You are a timeless spark of the divine, a child of the infinite, an expression of the very light you now feel on your skin. This knowing isn't an intellectual concept. It is a full-bodied remembrance, a homecoming on a soul level. Tears of joy gather at the corners of your eyes and slip down your cheeks, glistening in the sunshine. Yet these are not tears of pain or longing. They are tears of awe, of gratitude, of relief. It's the feeling one might have after wandering in a foreign land for years and suddenly hearing the gentle strains of a lullaby from your homeland. You had not realized how much you missed it until this moment of return. This is the lullaby of your spirit, reminding you of your divine origin. Words form soundlessly in your heart, a kind of prayer or affirmation that arises naturally. I remember. I remember who I am. You speak them softly into the morning air, and as you do, a breeze rustles through the grasses as if in reply. You feel a presence all around you, perhaps the presence of the divine itself, smiling. The sunlight intensifies for a moment, and you sense it as an embrace. Every beam seems to say, "Welcome back." In this state of illuminated remembrance, you look at the world anew. The sun, the sky, the earth beneath you, each bird in the air, and each leaf on a tree, all of it shines with an inner light that you now recognize as kin to your own. How could you have ever felt alone when all around you is the dance of the one life that birthed you? Separation was only a dream. In truth, every atom of existence is connected in this radiant tapestry of being. You stretch your arms out wide, as if to hug the horizon. The light of dawn casts a long shadow behind you, the last silhouette of the person you once thought you were. In front of you, there is no shadow, only the brilliance of what you are becoming. With each passing moment, the sun ascends higher, strengthening in brightness, just as the understanding within you grows clearer and steadier. Memories of earlier moments in your journey return, but now you see them through this lens of divine self-awareness. The whisper that called you at the very beginning. Was it not your own soul, the divine within, urging you to wake up? The stillness of the lake, the reflection of your true face, the compassionate meeting with your inner child, the guiding eagle in the sky, the storm that cleansed you, the child of light you embraced, the mirror that revealed your authentic self, the open heart under the cherry tree, the surrender to the river, and even the darkness that tested you every step. Every chapter was orchestrated by a deeper intelligence to lead you here, to this dawn of remembering. And now you stand, knowing in your heart of hearts that none of it was separate from the sacred, not even for a moment. The divine was in each experience, and it lives in you, as you. A laugh of pure delight escapes you, surprising in the quiet morning. You laugh at the simplicity and beauty of it all, and how the mind had made it seem so complex for so long. The sound echoes lightly across the valley. The world glows. With your eyes open or closed, it makes no difference now. You can feel the light within and without. In this heightened awareness, you sense that this very moment is imprinting itself in your soul's memory. No matter what happens after today, you will never completely forget this truth again. You might have moments of human lapse, but this core knowing will remain like a steady flame in your center, guiding you onward. The sun is fully risen now, a golden orb lifting into a wispy blue sky. Morning has officially broken. A new day, both literally and metaphorically, has begun. You feel as though you too are newly born with the Daya you that carries the wisdom of all your experiences, yet is unburdened by them. You take a slow, conscious breath and feel the energy of the sun fill you on the inhale. On the exhale, you imagine that energy radiating out from your heart, joining the sunlight in blessing the world around you. It's an instinctive action. Love seeks to share itself. Standing there, you silently offer, "May this light I remember within me awaken in all hearts. May all those lost in darkness find their dawn." It is a spontaneous prayer, arising from the boundless compassion that comes with unity. You know that your healing and awakening contribute to the whole, just as others who have awakened lit the path for you. The morning proceeds, each moment a gift. Perhaps you sit for a while on that warm stone, face tilting up in a silent meditation, basking both in sunlight and in the presence of the divine that you feel so palpably. There is no rush to move. You are perfectly present, savoring this communion. The earth beneath you hums with life, and you feel that hum in your bones. The line between you and the world has blurred into a gentle oneness. Eventually, you know it is time to continue your journey. There are more adventures to come, but you will meet them now, with this awakened consciousness. Before departing this sacred dawn spot, you gently touch your hand to the ground and to your heart, a gesture of gratitude and unity. You rise and step forward, the sun at your back, casting your path in light. As you walk on, every dew-laden spiderweb, every flower opening to the day, every creature stirring seems to acknowledge you and you them. You carry dawn within you, a perpetual sunrise in your soul as you move ahead. The inner breakthrough has begun to blossom outward. Now what was remembered internally will soon reflect in the life you create. With each step, you carry the knowing, I am light, I am love, I am divine, and I remember. The morning air carries your silent song of remembrance far and wide as you continue toward the next horizon shining from within. Chapter 11. Sacred Union. Buoyed by the inner dawn of remembrance, you walk onwards through the bright morning. The landscape around you has transformed with the new day. The gentle rise gives way to an expansive plateau dotted with ancient stones and flowering shrubs. In the distance, nestled against the lower slope of a great mountain, you see a structure catching the sunlight, a small temple or shrine, its white stones gleaming like a beacon. Drawn by a deep knowing, you make your way toward it, each step a graceful cadence in the song of this day. As you approach, you notice the temple is humble yet elegant. It's open to the sky, with marble columns entwined by vines of jasmine and morning glory. The fragrance of the blossoms mingles with the thin, crisp air that descends from the snow-capped peak above. At the threshold, you pause, sensing you are entering a holy place, not holy because of any human designation, but because of the energy of presence that surrounds it. This is a place of communion, and your heart already swells with anticipation and reverence. Crossing the threshold, you step into a circular inner sanctum open to the heavens. The floor is smooth stone, and at its center stands a simple altar-a-low platform draped in a white cloth. On it lies nothing but a single rose in full bloom, petals a soft ivory gold. Sunlight pours down through the open roof, illuminating motes of dust that dance in the air like tiny stars. It is quiet here, save for the gentle sigh of the breeze through the columns and the distant murmur of a stream outside. You move towards the altar, and then, with a gratitude welling up, you kneel or sit before it. In this silent sanctuary, you feel the veil between you and the divine is tissue thin. With each breath, you inhale a profound peace, and with each exhale, you surrender more deeply into that peace. Eyes half closed, you place your hands together in front of your heart, not out of obligation or ritual, but as an instinctive gesture of love and openness. In the stillness, you sense a presence gathering, as tangible as the sunlight on your face. It's as though the very space around you is coming alive with an invisible essence, gentle and loving, yet vast and powerful. Your eyes fill with tears again, but these tears are different. They come from a heart in the midst of a lover's reunion. You know, without knowing how, that the divine is here with you, around you, and within you in this very moment. Softly, from that space of communion, words bubble up from your soul. You speak them aloud, voice trembling with devotion. Beloved, I remember you. I know that you and I have never been apart. Your words echo lightly in the marble chamber. In speaking, you realize you are addressing not an external deity high on a throne, but the beloved that dwells in all things, the divine that has patiently guided you back to this awareness. For a heartbeat, there is utter silence, as if the world itself is listening. Then, in the depths of your heart, you hear a response. It is not a voice like yours, not sound carried on air, but you hear it as clearly as a sunrise. My beloved child, I have been with you always. The voice is tender, like a mother, father, lover and friend all at once. It vibrates every cell of your being with love. You bow your head, emotion overflowing, as this grace washes through you. The inner dialogue continues, words flowing in both directions without effort or sound. "Forgive me," you breathe, "for every time I forgot you, for every moment I doubted or felt alone." The response comes, warm and immediate. "There is nothing to forgive. Every step you took, whether in sorrow or joy, led you to me. I was the ground beneath your feet and the air in your lungs, even when you knew it not." You realize that this conversation is something your heart has yearned for, forever a direct communication with the source of your being. It's simultaneously extraordinary, and yet the most natural thing in the world. You might speak or think further, expressing gratitude, love, devotion. "Thank you," you whisper silently, "for never giving up on me, for guiding me through the darkness and into the light." The divine answers with a sweetness that makes your spine tingle. "Thank you, brave soul, for listening to my call and for returning home. Your joy is my joy. Your life is my life." A soft radiance begins to gather around the altar, or perhaps it was always there, and only now do you see it. The rose on the altar seems to glow with an inner light. You feel an urge to offer something in return for this immense love. But what could you possibly offer the infinite? Only yourself. And so, in a prayerful whisper, you offer, "I am your Zeus, me as an instrument of your love, of your will. Let my life be an expression of your grace." As these words crystallize in your heart, you feel a gentle breeze swirl through the temple, picking up a few rose petals from the altar and swirling them around you. One petal lands in your open palm, and you hold it reverently, sensing it as a token of acceptance, a symbol that your offering is received. In that sacred union, you feel a merging. The boundaries of your individual self dissolve into the vast love that holds you. It's not an obliteration of self, but rather an expansion. Your identity now effortlessly encompasses this presence. Where you end and divine begins is impossible to discern. They are one continuum, one breath. You realize this is the true meaning of surrender and union, not losing yourself, but finding yourself as larger than you ever imagined, as an inseparable part of the divine. You remain in this communion for timeless moments. It could be minutes or hours, time has no hold here. You may find yourself softly humming or chanting a spontaneous song of praise, or perhaps enveloped in silent awe. Either way, your heart converses with the beloved in the language of love, which needs no words. Eventually, a gentle stirring returns you to awareness of your surroundings. A bird's chirp nearby, the golden shift of sunlight indicating late morning. You know it is time to rise from the altar, but you do so as a changed being. You feel sanctified, consecrated by this union. It's as if an invisible crown of light has been placed upon your head, not of worldly authority, but of spiritual realization. Not a mark of separation from others, but a sign of your deep connection to all. Before you depart, you take the rose from the altar in your hand, pressing it lightly to your heart. The fragrance is heavenly, and you know this blossom will continue to remind you of this union. You bow deeply, touching your forehead to the earth in gratitude and respect, not out of duty but out of the overflowing love within. As you step out of the temple into the brilliance of late morning, everything around you shimmers just a little more brightly. The world itself appears as a temple now, the sky its dome, the mountains its pillars, the meadows its altar, and indeed, carrying the divine within you consciously, everywhere you go is holy ground. You carry that sacred union in your very breath and heartbeat. Walking forward, you feel a quiet ecstasy, a serene joy that needs no outward reason. You are in love with existence, and existence is in love with you. This love you feel is not just yours. It is the love of the divine flowing through you, blessing every step you take, every sight you see. With every breeze that brushes your cheek, you feel the beloved gently kissing you. With every bird that flutters by, you sense a message of grace. You move as one who is cherished beyond measure, and who cherishes in return. The journey continues, but from here onward, you know you walk hand in hand with the divine two lovers in one heartbeat, dancing through time. Chapter 12. One with All. The path turns upward, winding along the flank of the great mountain. Empowered by your sacred union, you climb with a lightness in your step, as if the earth itself is lifting you. The sun has passed its zenith, and a soft afternoon glow bathes the slopes. Alpine flowers peek from crevices in the rocks, and occasionally, a gentle mountain goat watches your ascent with calm, wise eyes, unafraid. You feel a kinship with it and every creature here. All recognize the divine presence in each other. Higher and higher you go, the air thinning but your spirit expanding. Each breath is a prayer, and each exhale a song of thanks. You pause at a ledge to drink from a clear spring that cascades down the rocks. The water tastes of pure life, crisp and cold, and as it enters you, you feel as if the mountain is sharing its ancient essence, welcoming you further into its heart. At last, you reach a broad promontory near the summit, where the world opens around you in all directions. You stand at the edge, and what you see steals the breath from your lungs in wonder. Below, valleys and forests spread out like a living patchwork quilt, rivers glinting like silver ribbons weaving through them. In the distance, other peaks rise, some crowned with snow, others cloaked in forests, all of them touched by the golden light of late day. Above, the sky is vast and crystal blue, with a few white clouds lazily drifting. Birds soar below, and at eye level an eagle far off, swallows dancing in the updrafts closer by. The entire panorama is alive, radiant. You open your arms wide, as if to embrace the entirety of what you see. In this moment, your consciousness stretches out, eager to encompass the whole vista, and it does. You sense your awareness flowing outward, touching and merging with everything your eyes rest upon. The boundaries of your body feel blissfully blurred. You are no longer confined to a small form standing on a ledge, but you are the vastness before you. Your heart beats in sync with the land. The slow, patient pulse of the mountain becomes your pulse. The flowing rivers are like blood moving through veins of earth, and you feel their course within you. Each breath of wind through the pines is your breath. The eagle circling in the distance is not separate from you. You feel the exhilaration of its flight in your own chest, as if you too have wings spread to the breeze. The warmth of the sun on your skin is the warmth of love shining on all beings, and you sense no distinction between the sun's rays and your own inner light. They are one and the same. Time loses meaning as you dwell in this state of unity. You sit down on the sun-warmed rock, not because you are tired, but to fully savor and ground this experience. Placing your palms on the stone, you feel the mountain's ancient strength and peace flowing up through your hands. You realize that this mountain has been here for millennia, witnessing countless days and nights, storms and suns, all with calm equanimity. Now you too share in that timeless perspective. You close your eyes softly and expand further. In your mind's eye, boundaries dissolve entirely. You sense the curvature of the earth, the blue oceans that lie beyond the horizon, the whispers of wind that travel around the globe. You sense forests breathing in tandem, the collective heartbeat of all living creatures. It's as if you've tapped into a vast symphony where every life form plays a part, and you can hear the grand music of it now. It is magnificent, a cosmic harmony that brings tears of joy to your eyes. In this profound communion, you inwardly speak, or perhaps simply feel the truth. I am in all, and all is in me. There is no arrogance or inflation in this statement, for it's equally true that you are in all others. It is a humble recognition of the intimate interconnectedness of existence. You see how the same consciousness that looks through your eyes also looks through the eyes of the deer in the valley. The same spark of life animates the trees swaying gently far below. The same source has become the clouds, the rivers, the people in distant villages, the very ground, and the very sky. All form and every soul are expressions of the One, and that One lives and breathes as you, as everything. A profound peace settles in every fiber of your being. If you were to try to locate yourself now, you could not, because you are everywhere. The worries that once nagged you are inconceivable in this state. To whom would they occur? The you that worried was but a wave, identifying only with itself. Now you know yourself as the entire ocean. Sunlight begins to slant more deeply. The afternoon is maturing toward evening. You open your eyes to witness the changing light. A few clouds have gathered and have begun their slow painting of soft colors across the sky, heralding the sun's descent. In the far west, the sky turns a gentle apricot and rose. You remain where you are, present and content, to greet the dusk from this high communion. As the sun nears the horizon, casting long shadows of the mountains across the land, you feel a gentle tug at your awareness, a desire to acknowledge the unity you feel in some outward way. Rising to your feet, you find a small stone and hold it in your palm. With heartfelt intention, you press it to your forehead and then to your heart, as if to imprint upon it the energy of your realization. Then you set it down on the ledge, an offering to the mountain and a symbol of your vow to remember this oneness wherever you go. In the golden twilight, you speak a few words, maybe a mantra or simple declaration, into the open air, knowing all of creation hears it as the whisper of its own voice. Perhaps you say, "We are one. I am part of all, and all lives in me. Thank you." The words are carried by a sudden gust of wind, as if the world answers, "Yes." A quiet ecstasy fills you. Not a burst of excitement, but a steady, glowing bliss. You think of humanity, of every other person on the journey of life, and you send out silent love to all, knowing they are another you. There is no sense of external and internal anymore. Love flows freely in all directions because it is all yourself. The first stars peek out as the sky deepens to a rich indigo. You feel no fear of night. How could you, when the darkness too is an expression of the same One? You stay long enough to see the silver curve of the moon rising and a tapestry of stars beginning to sparkle overhead. Each star, each distant sun, feels like a point of light within your own endless being. Eventually, under the deepening sky, you begin to make your way down from the promontory, carrying this unity with you. There is no loss in leaving the high perch, for you know the summit is wherever you stand. Every step on the descent is as sacred as those on the ascent. The mountain, the valley, the rivers, the sky, all travel with you inside your heart. As you walk into the enfolding dusk, you carry a serene smile. Anyone who might have seen you would perceive something luminous about you, as though you were a living fragment of sky moving along the earth. In truth, that is exactly what you are, a meeting point of heaven and earth, containing both within you. The journey has more to unfold, but now you will experience it from this place of wholeness. No longer as a seeker searching outside, but as an embodiment of all that is, exploring itself in joyous freedom. In the silent language of your soul, you affirm once more, "I am in everything, and everything is in me." The echo of that eternal truth accompanies you into the gentle night, as the oneness you have become continues onward, one step, one breath, one heartbeat that belongs to the world. Chapter 13. The Radiant Creator. Descending from the heights, you carry the tranquility of oneness in your heart. The path leads you down through foothills adorned with terraces of wild grasses and the occasional cluster of cedars. As evening falls, you notice in the distance a small village nestled by a winding river. Warm golden lights twinkle in the homes, and a thin column of smoke rises from a communal fire. The sight of human habitation stirs a gentle excitement in you. You feel ready to share the love overflowing inside, to witness the tapestry of life among others with new eyes. As you approach, you observe the village is unusually quiet. The riverbed nearby is mostly dry, with only a trickle of water reflecting the twilight. The land here bears the signs of a long drought. Fields are parched, and the once lush trees around the village droop with thirst. You see villagers gathered in the central square around the fire, their faces etched with worry and weariness. They haven't yet noticed you at the edge of their settlement. Moved by compassion, you step forward, letting the firelight reveal your presence. A few heads turn, and a hush falls as more people notice the stranger in their midst. You approach slowly, hands visible, and open a universal gesture of peace. An elder, with kind yet tired eyes, greets you with a cautious smile. "Welcome, traveler," he says softly. You can sense his fatigue, the weight of responsibility and concern he carries for his people. You respond with a gentle bow and a greeting, your voice calm and reassuring. As you speak, you notice your words carry a new resonance, grounded, soothing, imbued with the love you feel. The villagers seem drawn to that warmth. They offer you a seat by the fire and a simple cup of what water they have, despite their scarcity. You accept graciously, feeling the sacredness of their hospitality even in hardship. In the quiet moments that follow, some share their troubles. The rains have not come for a long time. Crops are failing, the river nearly gone. It is as if that life belonged to someone else, a character always running, never arriving. But here, in the embrace of silence, you have finally arrived. The present unfolds like a flower before you, petal by petal, revealing the depth of its beauty. You realize that this stillness has always been here, waiting for you to notice. Even in the busiest of days, it was there in the background, a quiet wellspring of calm. Now you drink from it, and it nourishes your soul. They speak not in anger, but in sorrow, clearly a close-knit community uncertain how to sustain their children and elderly in the dry times. As you listen, you place a hand lightly on the arm of a woman who is fighting tears while describing her withered garden. The simple touch sends a current of comfort through her. She looks at you with a spark of relief, as if somehow reassured without logical reason. With their permission, you close your eyes and feel into the situation with your whole being. You sense the parched earth beneath, aching for moisture, the collective yearning of the people, even the clouds above hanging low and heavy, but not releasing their precious cargo. You feel no despair, only a gentle determination born of love. Within you lies the power of that oneness and the deep connection to nature you gained on the mountain. A memory surfaces, the rainstorm in the forest that once frightened you, and how it became an ally in your growth. Now you stand on the other side of fear, ready to collaborate consciously with the elements. It's not a command you issue, but an invitation, a prayer from the whole of your heart. You begin to hum softly a spontaneous melody that flows through you. It carries the intention of healing and balance, rising and falling like the patterns of wind and water. The villagers watch in curious silence, sensing something unusual yet comforting in your song. Your eyes remain closed as you extend your arms outward, feeling the vast sky above and the dry soil below. Through your mind's eye, you lovingly call to the clouds, to the water spirit of the land. Come, your heart whispers, come quench this thirst, let life be renewed. It's less of a spoken language and more of a feeling transmitted on the wings of your melody. Moments pass. Then a cool breeze stirs, brushing against your cheeks and rustling the dying leaves. A murmur goes through the villagers as they feel it to a change in the air. You open your eyes to see the once clear night sky beginning to shift, stars winking out as dark clouds gather where there were none moments before. The elder breathes, "By the merciful heavens," in astonishment, tilting his head back. A gentle rumble of thunder sounds in the distance. Children who had been listless and quiet now giggle in surprise and point upward. You remain in place, heart open wide, practically feeling the first droplets forming in the sky as if within yourself. A single fat drop of rain splashes onto the dusty ground near the fire, leaving a tiny dark circle, then another and another. Gasps of joy ripple through the crowd. All at once, the skies release their gift. Rain begins to fall in earnest, a cool, cleansing shower from above. Some villagers laugh and cry out, lifting their hands to feel the water. Children dance and stomp in the forming puddles. The elder closes his eyes, tears of gratitude mixing with the raindrops on his face. The woman whose arm you touched earlier clasps her hands and whispers a prayer of thanks. And you, standing amidst this spontaneous celebration, feel a profound fulfillment. It's not pride or a sense of personal accomplishment. Rather, it is the joy of witnessing love in action, creation responding to the call of a unified heart. You know it was not you alone who made the rain come. It was the harmony of your intention with the needs of the people and the willingness of the cloudsa union of elements orchestrated by the divine through you. You were the catalyst, the bridge. As the rain continues to fall, the villagers begin to move about, positioning barrels and pots to catch the precious water, laughing as they do so. You help gently, guiding a barrel under a steady drip from a thatched roof, your hands steadying it alongside a young man who beams at you with unspoken gratitude. After a time, the shower softens to a gentle sprinkle and then stops. The clouds part as quickly as they came, revealing a sky now washed clean and starlit. The scent of wet earth rises, a fragrance sweeter than the finest perfume. Everyone gathers again around the fire, now crackling with renewed life from a few dry logs added. Faces glow in the firelight, shining with hope and wonder. The elder turns to you, taking your hands in his. You have brought the rain," he says, voice choked with emotion. You shake your head humbly and reply, "The rain was ready to come. We asked together, and nature heard us." He nods slowly, understanding that some sacred cooperation took place, even if it defies full explanation. They invite you to stay the night as an honored guest. As you share a simple meal made richer by newfound optimism, you notice the transformation around you. It's not just the physical land that has been nourished, the spirits of the people are lifted. They speak of replanting, of tomorrow's tasks to channel the river's refreshed flow to their fields, of saving seeds that they almost gave up on. The despair has given way to possibility. A small girl with bright eyes comes to sit near you. From her, you sense no fear or shyness, only pure curiosity and love. She reaches out and gently touches a pendant or stone you carry from your journey. Perhaps the pebble from the mountain or the rose petal from the temple tucked in your pouch. "Are you a rainmaker?" she asks innocently. You smile and reply, "I am a friend of the rain, and the rain is a friend of yours too." She grins and nods, content with that answer, leaning her head against your arm as if she's known you forever. In that moment, you realize the deeper meaning of empowerment. It is not about wielding power over nature or others, but aligning so deeply with the flow of life that miracles become natural. It's about living as the true creator you are, one who creates from love and for love. You have become a vessel through which the universe pours its grace. This ability to help, to heal, to manifest goodness was always within you, within everyone, but it bloomed when you remembered who you are and surrendered to the divine current. Under the sparkling sky, the villagers begin to drift to their homes, offering you blessings and thanks. You assure them that your heart is as grateful as theirs for being welcomed and for the shared experience. They insist you take a dry cloak and show you a comfortable place to rest in the elder's home. Lying down that night on a humble cot, you listen to the sounds of dripping water from the eaves, the contented murmur of a family nearby, a baby nursing, someone quietly singing a lullaby. These gentle sounds of life lull you. You reflect on the journey that brought you here, from hearing a whisper in the silence to becoming a conduit of blessing in the world. You feel no sense of an ending, only continuation and expansion. This village is but one stop on a journey that flows ever onward. There will be dawns and dusks, mountains and rivers, and countless souls to meet and co-create with in love. As you close your eyes, a final thought illuminates your mind like a sweet north star. You are the universe, awake to itself, choosing to create in love. With that knowing, you slip into a deep, blissful sleep, the sound of newfound rain gently pattering in the dark, nourishing the earth and every dreaming heart. Chapter 14. Homeward. The time comes when you feel a gentle pull to journey back to where it all began. With heartfelt farewells to the kind villagers, you depart their valley enriched by mutual love. The road unfolds before you under morning light as you travel onward, sometimes alone with your thoughts and sometimes in the company of fellow travelers drawn to your warmth. Each step is different now than it was in the beginning. You walk not as a seeker longing for answers, but as a humble bearer of light, ready to share it wherever you go. As days pass, the landscapes gradually transition from wild mountains to familiar plains. You recognize the curves of the hills, the bend in the river that guided you out long ago. There is a tingle of anticipation in realizing you will soon see faces and places you once left behind. How will they receive you? How will it feel to tread the same streets with the new eyes of your heart? One soft dusk, you crest a hill and behold the outline of your hometown in the distance. The houses with their lit windows dotting the twilight, the narrow lanes and fields around where you once wandered with restless dreams there. It all lies, peaceful and unchanged. Yet it is you who have changed so profoundly. A tender emotion wells up. Love, not just for the beauty of the scene, but for every soul within it, each playing a part in the grand tapestry that led you to this moment. Walking into the town at night, you pass familiar landmarks. The old oak tree by the crossroads, the little market now closed and quiet, the well at which neighbors gather water. Villagers cross your path carrying lanterns, returning home from the day's tasks. Some recognize you and do a double take, sensing something different in your gait and gaze. You smile and offer a polite greeting by name, and they respond kindly, though with a touch of wonder, as if trying to recall a dream. Turning down the lane where you once lived, you feel your heart flutter with a childlike excitement. You knock gently on a door that held so many memories. When it opens, there stands someone dear, perhaps a family member or a longtime friend whose eyes widen in disbelief and then flood with gladness. They embrace you tightly, exclaiming how long you've been away. In their warm hug, you feel the circle of your journey complete itself. As you settle in, sharing a simple meal and conversation, those around you notice the subtle radiance in your presence. They ask where you've been, what you've seen. You speak not of grandiosity or mystical jargon, but in simple, heartfelt words. You tell them of forests and mountains, of kind strangers and lessons learned under sun and storm. You speak of finding peace in silence, of meeting your own heart, of discovering an endless love that connects everything. As you talk, your loved ones listen raptly. Some tears glint in their eyes, some smiles of awe, as if they too are tasting a bit of that journey through your stories. Later that evening, you wander through the town. A few neighbors gather around, drawn to the gentle glow of tranquility you carry. They ask for guidance with their worries, and you find wise, compassionate answers flowing naturally from your lips, words that seem to arise from something greater within you, perfectly fitting each question. To one who feels lonely and lost, you speak of the treasure in stillness and the constant companionship of one's own soul. To another who fears change, you share the parable of the caterpillar and butterfly, which you once lived through in your own transformation. You notice how these everyday settings, so ordinary to you, have become opportunities to pour out the love and wisdom that have blossomed in you. At one point, you encounter someone with whom you once had conflict or from whom you carried old pain. Perhaps an old friend turned stranger, or a person who never understood you. In the past, crossing their path would have tightened knots of anger or hurt in your stomach. But now, you feel only compassion. You greet them with a sincere smile and kind eyes. They, surprised by your warmth, respond awkwardly at first, then thaw into friendliness. In a short, honest exchange, there is silent forgiveness. You part ways uplifted, a weight neither of you realized you carried now gone. In your heart, you whisper thanks for you see clearly how even those frictions helped carve the path you walked. As days turn into a gentle flow, you reintegrate into daily life, but nothing is truly mundane to you anymore. Whether drawing water from the well, sweeping a floor, or sharing bread with neighbors, each act is a chance to practice presence, gratitude, and love. You notice beauty in the smallest things. The morning sun stretching its rays across a kitchen table, the laughter of children chasing each other past the window, the pattern of raindrops forming on the surface of that old well. Where once your mind may have been restless or dulled by routine, now every moment shines with the magic of being fully alive and aware. You gather with your community in times of celebration and in times of sorrow, offering your genuine self. Some evenings you might lead a small meditation by the oak tree. Others you simply sit on the porch with elders, listening to their stories with full attention, making them feel seen and valued. People start playfully calling you the calm one or our light in the village, and while you gently laugh it off, you also silently honor the truth in it, not as a badge of pride, but as a humble role you are happy to fulfill. You know it is the light within everyone. You are just reflecting it clearly. Yet even as you settle, you know the journey continues. The call to deeper understanding and to spread love more widely still whispers in your heart. Home is now not a single place, it is wherever you stand in that union with life. And so you remain ready to answer new calls, maybe to travel again or to undertake new endeavors that serve the greater good. But there's no impatience, no urgency, only a trust that when the next step is needed, it will reveal itself, just as the stars appear when night falls. On a quiet night, perhaps like the one when your adventure first began, you step outside your home and gaze at the sky. The same constellations sparkle overhead, but you see them differently now. They are companions, reminders of both how small and how vast you are. The air has that familiar stillness, and you close your eyes, listening for the heartbeat of the universe. Within that peaceful silence, you hear the echo of that first whisper that set you on your path. Only now it isn't a distant call. It resounds from within you. It says, "This is home, this moment, this being. Welcome home." A soft smile graces your face. You breathe in the cool night air, breathing in the whole world, and breathe out gentle blessings. In the depth of your being, you feel a profound contentment. You have returned to the beginning, but as a transformed presence. The journey outward was, in truth, a journey inward all along, leading you back to a self that is wiser, steadier, and brimming with love. With a heart full of appreciation, you whisper into the night a simple prayer of gratitude for the road, for the trials and triumphs, for the guides seen and unseen, and for the eternal sanctuary of the present, where the truth always dwells. Overhead, a shooting star streaks silently across the sky, as if heaven itself were acknowledging your homecoming. You turn and step back inside, the door closing softly behind you. In that closure there is no finality, only the quiet continuation of life's great flow. The inner lamp you have lit now shines in every corner of your world. And you know in your soul that whenever darkness or doubt reappears, you have but to remember and turn to that light. It will lead you onward, ever home. Chapter 15. The Inner Breakthrough. As the tapestry of your journey unfurls into the present, you stand at the threshold of a new dawn within. All that you have seen and felt, the still forests and roaring storms, the tender embraces and silent revelations, have woven together into a single resounding truth. You remember now. You remember the infinite strength that quietly guided you from the start. You remember that the love you sought has blossomed from within, that the divine presence you yearned for has never left your side. This understanding pulses in your very breath, a beacon that will never dim. The inner breakthrough has happened, yet it is also ever unfolding. It is the gentle cracking open of a shell you once hid within, and the emergence of the radiant self who was always inside. Feel the immensity of what you have realized. The universe stirs in your soul, and you stir in the universe. The boundaries that once confined you have dissolved. You are free. Free to be, free to feel, free to love, without condition or fear. Pause here in this sacred moment. Inhale slowly, deeply, the breath of life filling your chest. Exhale softly, releasing any remnants of doubt. Notice how clear and serene the space inside you is. It is like a still lake at sunrise, perfectly mirroring the sky. In that mirror you see your true face, calm, compassionate, and wise. This is who you have become. This is who you have always been. You find yourself speaking words of affirmation, a spontaneous prayer of your being. I am present. In this moment, complete and whole, I dwell in the now where all power resides. I am open. My heart flows with love for myself and all creation. I hold nothing back. I am light. The shadows of old are gently illuminated, transformed by understanding. I am one. Never again shall I feel apart, for I am woven into the all, and the all is woven into me. Each statement reverberates through your being, settling into every cell, every corner of your mind. These are not hopes or aspirations, they are recognition of what is already true. The universe within you hums in agreement. Look around with the eyes of this realization. Whether you see the walls of a familiar room or the open horizon of the world, you perceive the sacred in everything. The air itself seems to shimmer with potential. Every object, every sound, every being glows subtly with the essence of the divine. You understand now that life is not happening to you. Life is happening through you and as you. You are a conscious participant in the cosmic dance, co-creating reality with each thought, each intention, each act of kindness. Think back to the one who first heeded the whisper to embark on this path. Perhaps there were uncertainties, perhaps fears. You offer a smile of compassion to that earlier version of you. How brave they were to step into the unknown. How proud you are of them, for without their courage, you would not be here now, awake in this way. In truth, that self and your present self are one continuous love story, each chapter necessary and cherished. You sense a presence beside you. It is the inner guide who walked with you from the very beginning. Maybe it appears now as a figure of light or a gentle voice in your heart. It whispers to you, not as a separate entity, but as the voice of your highest self. Beloved, you have arrived. But the journey does not end, it begins anew, ever deeper, ever higher. You nod, understanding. This awakening is both a culmination and a commencement. With each breakthrough comes a new horizon, and you are ready to embrace it all. Feel the weightlessness of this state. The burdens you carried, the labels you clung to have been set down. In their place, a sweet responsibility arises, to live as an embodiment of truth and love. This is not a task or a demand, but a joyful purpose. Simply by being authentically you, you will illuminate whatever space you enter. Simply by listening and responding from the heart, you will uplift those you meet. There is nothing more you must do, and yet, from this freedom, so much will be done through you naturally. Think of the world that awaits beyond your door, the rustle of morning, the everyday hustle, the play and struggle and hope that fill human lives. You carry a gift back into that world, the gift of your presence. Where there is confusion, you will bring clarity not by force, but by exemplifying peace. Where there is conflict, you will offer understanding, a bridge forged of empathy. Where there is sorrow, you will be a compassionate witness. And in your gentle acceptance, others may find the strength to heal. You are a lighthouse now, steady and luminous, guiding by example and love. Yet you remain humble, for you know every light occasionally flickers in strong winds. Should you ever stumble or feel momentarily lost, as any human might, you will not fall into despair, for within you burns an eternal flame that nothing can extinguish. You will remember to pause, to breathe, to turn inward to that ever-glowing sanctuary where your true self resides. In silence and stillness, you will realign with the divine spark and regain your center. This is the promise you make to yourself, to never abandon you again. In this promise you find deep security and peace. A gentle joy bubbles up, growing with each passing second. Perhaps it becomes a laugh-free, soulful laugh that echoes the delight of existence. Perhaps it becomes tears, grateful, holy tears that consecrate your face like dew. However it manifests, let it flow. You are alive, wide awake to the miracle of being. Every sensation, every emotion, every breath is a gift. Step forward now, into the world that awaits, into the life that is yours to live. The path ahead is not mapped, but you do not fear the unknown. You carry the map inside you. Your intuition, your connection to Source, will guide each step. Trust this guidance. It has brought you this far and will never lead you astray. Synchronicities will sparkle like signposts. Right people, right timing, and right actions will naturally emerge. Your only task is to remain true to the love and wisdom in your heart. Feel the earth beneath you, solid and supporting. Feel the sky above, open and inviting. You stand balanced between, a channel of heaven on earth. The wind kisses your cheeks, as if congratulating you. The pulse of life beats strong and steady within. You have broken through the inner barriers. You have come home to yourself. And now, beloved soul, carry this inner breakthrough forth. Let it be seen in your eyes, heard in your voice, felt in your touch. In each ordinary day you will find the extraordinary. In each face you will see the divine. In each task you will find communion. This is the magic you've unlocked, the secret that sages and stars have whispered through eons. All is within you. You are within all. As you take the next step and the next, know that you walk hand in hand with the entire universe. The journey continues endlessly, but there is no rush and no burden, only the unfolding of love. The road rises up to meet your feet. The sun and moon keep time with your footsteps, and the heart of existence beats in harmony with your own. Go forth, shining one, and celebrate the life that is yours to create. Every moment is new. Every moment is holy. You are the light of awareness moving through the world, illuminating whatever you gaze upon. You are the love of creation made manifest in human form, touching lives just by being. In the great silence after all words, feel the truth of these final lines echoing in the chamber of your soul. You are awake, you are whole, you are free. This is your inner breakthrough, and it will forever light your way. And so your story flows on, an endless, beautiful river, carrying the essence of who you are into eternity. Now, as you carry this inner breakthrough into your life, know that the light you've awakened within will continue to guide you. You are the creator of your reality. You are the love you seek. You are the breakthrough you've been waiting for. If this journey touched your soul, if it lit a spark in your heart, share it with others who need this light. Like, subscribe, and join this growing circle of souls awakening together. Because when we rise together. And remember always, you are whole, you are free, you are the light.